So lately, I've been getting lots of couples who come into my office and they're struggling with so much conflict, so much frustration within their relationships. And one of the biggest things that I'm realizing is that a lot of us are struggling so hard to, to forgive each other for the things that we have done against each other. And I can see that this has become like a huge hindrance in a lot of couples going ahead with life and enjoying a fruitful and enjoyable marriage. So today, that's what we're going to tackle. We're going to talk about forgiveness within this space called marriage. I want to start by sharing a story, and this is a personal story of forgiveness. I remember a few years back, my wife offended me. And she really offended me, and I felt, it was something that I felt was important to me. And it wasn't a big deal to her. And probably if I shared here, for some others, it wouldn't be a big deal. But it was an offense all the same. And I remember I got really hurt and angered by it. I remember I felt so disrespected, so put down by it. And the fact that, for her, it was not a big deal, I was just like, what on earth, the fact that it's a big deal to me, it should be a big deal to you. So guys, I was super offended by her. And I remember I didn't want to talk to her. I didn't want to even see her. I didn't even want to. I was just like, you've hurt me. I don't want even to talk to you. It was one of those things, you get into bed and you stay on your side, I stay on my side, and there's an imaginary wall over here. And it was one of those things. We had a son then, and anything you want to convey, you go and tell your mother. And he will be told the same thing, go and tell your father. So the things that we do in relationships, guys, why do we even go through such things? But anyway, I remember I used to hold this deep inside and to make her feel it, to make her feel the pain. I would withdraw love, I would withdraw all these things from her, and I would just, constantly have this stone face, like I'm upset with you, just to let her know that I'm upset with her. Every door was closed a little bit harder than it will normally be closed, just so that everybody in the house knows daddy is upset. The man of the house is upset. Until I remember listening to this one guy who began to now educate me and just share with me and tell me, the only person who's really getting hurt by this is you. And then he used this analogy. He said, think of this, a fisherman. A fisherman, with a hook. And you reel it in and you toss it out there, and then it hooks onto somebody. Now that hook, imagine, has hooked onto your wife, and you are reeling her in, and you think that you're hurting her, and she's going about life. But the truth is that you are the one who's hooked onto her. And then he used another analogy, which I love to use in every session. Anyone who has come into my office for a session, chances you've had this analogy being used. I often think of the African context. Now, here in Africa, we during this season, especially Christmas, Easter, or any big celebration, we normally do that by slaughtering a goat or a cow or a sheep. So we tend to want to fatten it a month to, especially during Christmas season. We tether it to a particular tree where there's lots of grass so that it can graze right there. Now, picture this. You are the goat, or you are the sheep, because sheep is a little bit more acceptable than a goat. Picture this, you're the sheep, and you're the one who is tethered to the tree. Now the tether is the connection to the tree, where the tree is the offense that was done to you. Now, when you harbor unforgiveness, when you harbor resentment, when you harbor bitterness, anger against somebody, you are very much like that tree. And all you ever do is surrounded by that offense that you feel that person has done against you. So all you do in life is around that thing. And when you think about it, and when I thought about my own situation, the truth is everything that I did based on that offense that my wife did. Even when I go to work, I want to make a call home, I want to make a decision about home, I want to make a decision, about anything. But the constant thing that was always on my mind was that offense that was done. And then once he said this and shared this analogies and these stories, then I just realized, hey, you know what? It's not her who's getting really hurt by this. She did the offense, life is still happening for her, but I am stuck at the place where that offense happened. And a lot of us out there are actually doing the same thing. We're harboring bitterness, we're harboring anger, we're harboring unforgiveness for our spouses, for whatever it is. And some of you will say, but you don't understand. You don't understand. That issue that you went through was not as big as what I was going through. It doesn't matter how big or how small the issue is. The fact remains is that you're the one who is being held captive by that offense. And the more bitterness, the more anger, the more unforgiveness that you hold and harbor, you're the one who is in jail. You're the one who is in shackles. It's not the person who offended you. Life is going on for them. So today I want to challenge us to consider forgiveness. I want to challenge us to consider releasing the bitterness, releasing the anger. I want to challenge us to become free. Because the truth is, whenever we put that offense and it becomes the biggest thing in our life, everything that we do in life is centered around that. Or we look at life through the lens of that offense. That means everything that we do is skewed. All right? So what is forgiveness? Let me tell you what it's not. Forgiveness is not forgetting what it is or the offense that was done to you. If you're like me and you have a fantastic memory, it's going to be very difficult for you to forget that offense. So it's not about forgetting that offense. Forgiveness does not mean you tolerate that offense, or that abuse being done to you constantly. That's not what forgiveness is. In fact, you should be keeping that person accountable, or you should be separating or keeping them at bay so that they avoid offending you and abusing you and putting you down. All right? What forgiveness is choosing to say that I choose that I want to be free. I want to be free of that offense and keep living my life the way I need to live my life. It's choosing to say that I understand that this sin was done against me, but I choose to live in freedom despite the consequences of that sin against me. This is what forgiveness is all about. So guys, how do you do it? Allow me to share with you a simple way that you can do. You can begin to practice this so that you can get the freedom that you need. It's simply by saying, I choose to forgive XX or XY, and I use those just to make reference to the man and the woman. I choose to forgive XX or XY for you list whatever it is that they did against you, and you say, and then you talk about the emotion that it made you feel. All right, so you say, I choose to forgive you XY for ABC, which made me feel XYZ. I let go of the bitterness, I let go of the anger, I let go of the unforgiveness that I harbor within. And I choose to release you from my heart and from my mind. Guys, let me tell you, bust your bubble. The truth is, it doesn't happen immediately. It's not an instant thing. But the truth is, if you keep doing it, the more you do it, sometimes it'll take many months, sometimes it will take 2-3 times. It just depends on you and how you felt and how much you held it within you. But the more you do it, the more you begin to believe it, and the more you begin to release that person and release that offense. Remember, forgiveness is not necessarily for the other person. Forgiveness is for you, because you're the one who's being held captive, and you're the one who desires to be free of that offense. It doesn't matter how hard it is. I feel it is very important for us to be able to forgive this person. And if you choose not to forgive, then you don't have anybody else to blame for the pain that you consistently will, feel for the rest of your lives. So guys, I want to encourage you as couples to constantly forgive each other, because being in each other's space, we are totally different human beings. We have different mindsets. We've grown, up differently, and we are wired. We have different operating systems. So we are bound to have conflict. We are bound to hurt each other. So it is important for us, in order to enjoy a prosperous relationship, to be able to learn how to forgive. I have talked about it here, and I hope it's something that you guys will take on and begin to implement, so that you can enjoy strong, healthy, thriving, and lasting marriages. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's your boy Emmanuel G. Don't forget to like, to subscribe, to hit the notification button. Share this widely with your friends. You never know, your share could be the difference in somebody else's relationship. So thank you so much for tuning in, and thank you so much for the support you grant iVow. God bless you and take care.